Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of AIC TV. I am Edward Carr, your host, in conjunction with Dukascopy TV. And today we are very fortunate to have with us in the studio one of the world's renowned experts in the microcap space. I'm talking about my friend Maxi Brezzi. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Maxi has probably more experience in the microcap space than anyone that I know. He's a very, very successful fund manager, has run one of the world's most well-known funds in the microcap space, and has personally made more than 700 investments in this field. So Maxi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you very much.
Great to have you. So we're talking today, Maxi, about microcaps. And again, you're one of the world's premier experts on it. Tell us, what is the microcap market?
There is no standard definition of, what is a microcap? We consider microcaps those companies that have a market capitalization of less than 250 million US dollars. And usually microcaps are also penny stock because their stock trades at $5 or less. Microcaps constitute a vast universe that is often unknown to the majority of the investors, to the great majority of institutional money, and it's hardly covered by any analyst. Just to give you an idea, last year we did a research, and there are more than 100,000 companies worldwide falling into the category of microcaps. It's a vast universe, and in my view, it deserves to be known better.
Wow, that's fascinating. Over 100,000 companies. And I imagine all companies at one point started as a microcap, whether it was Facebook in Zuckerberg's dorm room, or Apple in Steve Jobs' garage, or whatever it was.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can think that a lot of companies started as microcaps.
So why would someone right now, Maxi, consider the microcaps, and why would someone go out and invest in microcaps?
Well, microcaps is, the microcap space is a multifaceted space that spans across all possible sectors. What is, I would say, probably typical of microcaps is innovation. Many microcaps are involved in developing new applications, technologies, drugs, applications, you name it, that will probably be an integral part of our lives tomorrow. And microcaps, they offer very interesting opportunities to make money. Examples of great performances are not rare. I can give an example myself. I mean, many years ago, we bought the shares of a practically unknown biotech company. We paid 90 cents for the shares.
90 cents?
90 cents.
Wow.
Okay. And we had faith in the management. We liked what the company was doing and trying to do. And I had a look at the company yesterday. The stock was trading at $147.
From 90 cents to $147.
And after peaking a couple of months ago at nearly 170.
Wow.
It's not, you want to know which company it is? It's Celgene Corporation.
Celgene, sure.
On NASDAQ, and the ticker is CELG.
Interesting.
Okay. And I always like to think in these terms. If I buy a share and paid 50 cents, and it gains 50 cents. Hey, I've doubled my money.
Right.
Okay. Well, if I buy a $40 stock and it gains 50 cents, I've made a 1.25% gain.
Right.
Am I even covering my trading expenses with that?
Sure.
Okay. So, and I'm not the only one sort of looking at things like that. Last year, I attended a presentation given by the president of the TSX Venture Exchange, and he had the last 3 slides were showing the top 10 performers. Okay, there was the mining sector, oil and gas sector. Okay, understandably, it's Canada, and diversified industries, all the others. Okay, and they were divided by market cap, over $1 billion, between 250 million and 1 billion, and less than 250 million. Okay, if I take the diversified industry, only one company amongst the first 2 categories had a performance greater than 200%. All the 10 microcaps performed better than 200%.
Fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. So you've pointed out some of these incredible returns that can be made in the microcap market, but what about some of the risks or pitfalls?
Well, there are obviously risks. I mean, the first risk you usually see in the microcaps is liquidity, which means that the stock trades very little, which means that you have to be very patient when you want to build a position, and even more patient when you want to sell. Okay, so you have to be ready to wait for the right time, the right price, and the right volume, and hope that all these three factors come together at the same time. And you also have to consider that quite often microcaps are, I could define them, publicly quoted startups. So they need money.
Sure.
And they're going to raise money, and possibly they will dilute the existing shareholders. And being very young companies, often their balance sheet is very fragile. Which means that, I mean, if management is not good and doesn't really sort of perform according to plan, I mean, that could have a brutal impact on the company and the stock.
Of course. So it sounds like investors really need to do a lot of homework here in the microcap space. So how would they approach this universe to get some ideas?
Let me tell you, first of all, it's a fascinating universe. Okay, it's really fascinating, and I would say that anyone who likes investing in stock should say, okay, I'm going to allocate 5-10% of my portfolio to microcaps. They are lively, dynamic, and fun. I would say they add a little bit of pepper to the investing life. Okay, how to approach them? Well, there is no magic recipe. Due diligence. Okay. You like a microcap? Watch it. Okay. Talk to management. Usually, microcaps managers are much more available for investors than big corporations. Read the financial reports. Read the press releases. If there is any analyst report, and it will be very difficult, go through that. Watch the company. Go through the website. See what the competition does, okay? And watch the trading, the volume. Is it building volume? There is momentum, okay? So you're convinced that, as we were saying earlier, that's the new Apple or Microsoft, which were both microcaps long time ago, or Celgene, okay? Then start building a position and be prepared to go for a long ride, and good luck.
Right. Maxi, thank you so much for coming into the studio today and sharing some of your wisdom on the microcap market.
Thank you for having me here, Ed. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from one of the world's foremost experts on microcaps, a very, very exciting place. I'm Edward Carr, your guest host of AIC TV in conjunction with Dukascopy TV. Stay tuned for more future interviews.